Hello students, let us see another example on writing the object code for SIC XC. Okay, so this problem is in the notes. Fine, you can go through the notes, but there is some extra things that you have not seen in the previous example. So let us learn what is it. Okay, so the question is generate the complete object program for the following SIC XC program. Clear? And you know that opcodes will be given to you and the assembly code will be given to you. So the new things that you will be seeing here is the plus sign over here. Okay, you haven't seen this plus sign in the previous example, right? And also index, that is X is present here. Okay, so do consider this as a very important problem. Fine? Okay, let's move on to the solution. Before starting with writing the instructions, let us go through these points. It says that if you find an instruction which has a register has first operand, then it is 2 bytes. That is, its length is 2 bytes. If an instruction has 2 registers as operands, then it is 2 bytes. If an instruction has a preceding plus, then its length is 4 bytes, which is format 4. And rest all the instructions are 3 bytes, okay, which is format 3. So in pass 1, you'll have to find the length first and then the length of the data area. Then what should you do? You should find the location or the addresses for each of the labels, update it in the symbol table, and then find the length of the program. Okay. Now, so this is how we start with the problem. So as I said, start is a directive. So we do not have a length for start and end directive. Okay. So it says that it starts at 0th location. So you have to initialize the location to 0, 0, 0. That is this from this instruction always. Okay. Yeah. Not because it is written first here. No, that is not the thing. Okay. The instruction next to start, you should always begin with that instruction. Okay. Yeah. Now, see, this is a instruction which is format 3. So its length is 3. LDA is also format 3. Plus is a format 4. So you write 4. Now, base is a directive. So we don't have a length for it. So leave it blank. Now, add. This is also format 3. This is format 3. TX is format 3. JLT is format 3. Plus STA is format 4. RSEB is format 3. Now coming to RESW. I hope you remember this. Okay. So this is there in every object or every assembly language that you see. RESW. So you have to reserve this much amount of word or data area. So if you have RESW, you will have to multiply the operand. That is, this is the operand always with 3. Okay. So you have a 3 here. Next, RESW, you have 2000. So 2000 should be multiplied by 3, which is 6000. And 6000 should be converted to hexadecimal. So use your scientific calculator appropriately to convert the decimal to hexadecimal. As I said, everything written here is calculated in terms of hexadecimal. Clear? So 1770 is the answer after the conversion. Clear? Okay. Now, similarly, the other RSW also, it has 1770, RSW 1. So 1 has to be multiplied with 3, which gives you value 3. What should you do next, guys? After you find the instruction, you have to find the location. Okay. So we have initialized the location to 0 because it is mentioned here, right? It starts from 0. Next, what should you do? You should add the length, okay, and then find the address of the next instruction. So similarly, add this here. That is how when you keep on adding, you get the addresses for each of the instructions. Okay, I hope you remember this. Okay, finally, you have to find the length of the program. So length of the program is nothing but the final LOCCTR and the initial address of the program or the starting address of the program. So this is going to give you 2F03. And another task that you have to do is store all the addresses of the labels in a table called as SimTab. Okay, so in pass2 we have to generate object code. So I hope you know how to generate object code for certain instructions that we have learned in the previous example. So I'll just brush through it again. So LDX #0. So opcodes are given to you. LDX has an opcode 04. So we have written 0 and 4 here. Okay, now what about #0? You know that hash is an immediate addressing. So definitely I has to be set to 1. X is 0 because there is no index addressing. B and P is set to 0. Why? Because this is immediate addressing, right? So you don't need to have relative addressing. So B and P are set to 0. E definitely to 0 because this is not a format for which is indicated by plus. This is a simple instruction. What about displacement, guys? Since you're not using any relative addressing here, displacement is nothing but it's going to be the value that is present here. Okay, yes, so that is going to be 000. So get the object code. Similarly for LDA also you do the same. Okay, yeah, I'll teach you how to find for extended. Look at this. In extended, it says that you have a plus, which indicates it is format 4. So write down the opcode for LDB, which is given to you in the question. Now, look at this. Start from the flags. N. You know, the meaning of N is indirect addressing and I is immediate addressing. We clearly see an immediate addressing here. So I is set to 1. X is set to 0 because we don't have an index. And B and P, in this case, as I said, the address space of format for instruction have 20 bits, which is sufficient for storing any addresses. So it does not need to have relative addressing. So all the time when you have a format for addressing, B and P will always be set to 0 because the address can be directly written here. For example, table 2 address is 1790, which is directly taken here. Okay, so this is how you write. And look at this, guys. Don't you think the numbers have increased here? Yes. Why? Because this is a 4-byte instruction, right? Okay, so 4-byte means you'll have to write 8 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. As I said, if you remember, 1 hexa is 4 bits. So 8 into 4 is going to be how much? 32. So you know that 32 bits means it is going to be 4 bytes, right? So that is how you can remember. So format 3 will always have 6 numbers in hexa in the object code, and the format 4 will have 8 numbers. And I hope you know all these, right? This was taught to you initially. Now remember one point here. Okay, so remember this, you'll need this. See, as I said, in relative addressing, you have two types. One is PC and one is base. And as I said, PC is preferred by most of the assemblers. That is, it is the first choice. But when should we use base? Sometimes it so happens is when you try finding the displacement, you're supposed to use PC only if the displacement falls in the range of minus 2048 to 2047, and this is in decimal. Okay, so if the displacement falls in this particular range, only then you can use PC. Otherwise, if the displacement crosses this range of PC, then you will have to use base. We will see an example here. Okay, yeah, okay. Now add table comma x. Okay, let me tell you how this works because you haven't seen an instruction with x. Okay, let me teach you. Now write down opcode here, opcode of add, which is 18. Now coming to setting of the flags. NIXBP, you know that this is neither immediate nor indirect. So both N and I are set to 1. X is set to 1 here because we have a index addressing. Okay, now coming to B and P. Now you know that table is a memory location, so definitely we have to use relative addressing, and our first choice is always P. So P is set to 1. And what about displacement? Displacement is going to be TA minus PC. Okay, so when you do TA minus PC, you get 0, 1, 3. And I'll give you an example here now with respect to that range. What I was talking about? See, 0, 1, 3 is actually a very small number, right? So if you convert 0, 1, 3, see, you can take calculators, guys. 0, 1, 3 is in hexadecimal. And when you try converting into decimal, you get 19. So 19 is obviously in the range of minus 2048 to 2047. So you can use PC addressing, right? Even if you use base addressing, it's not wrong. You can use base addressing, but the first choice is always PC addressing. Okay, yeah. Now that is how you get this. Now look at add table 2. Here there is a catch. Okay, here whatever concept I was explaining right now, right, that will come to use here. Now here opcode to be written as it is given in the question. NIXBP is going to be 1 1 for NI, because this is neither indirect nor immediate. So 1 1, X is set to 1. Now let us think that always we used to set P to 1, right? So let us consider that we had set P to 1 initially. So if we had set P to 1 initially, then target address as usual, target address of table 2 is 1790, and PC is, you know what PC is. PC is the address of the next instruction to this particular instruction, which is 000D. So when you try to deduct this from 1790, what you get is, one second guys, let me use my, you two guys use your calcs. Okay, so in hexadecimal you get 1783, which when converted to decimal you get 6019, as I have written here. So 6019 is above the range of PC, right? You got my point. 2048 to 2047 was its range. So this is out of its range. So now you have no other choice. You have to use base addressing. Okay. So that is why B is set to 1 here. For this purpose, we have used base addressing. And in the notes, this is the reason mentioned here. You consider this also as an extra reason for it. Okay. Yeah. Now, when you consider the base, guys, so TA minus base is going to be the formula for displacement. What is TA? TA is nothing but the target address of table 2, which is 1790. And what about base? What do you think is base value? Let me show you. Remember this. We'll go to the top. Now, look at this, guys. Yeah. What is base here? Base says that it stores the address of table 2. So what is the address of table 2 here? What is the address of table 2 here? It is 1790. So 1790 is deducted from 1790 itself. Okay, so what do you get here? You get it as 000. So that is what is appended here. So this is a very important problem. Know when to use base and when to use PC. As I said, PC is most preferred than base. So it's okay even if you try using the base. Okay, but then when you have to actually use base is when the displacement range goes out of PC's range. That is when you have to use base. Okay. Now coming to TIX count. I think this is easier for you to understand by now. So it is program counter. So you can, every time you can convert it into decimal and then find. But then once you start practicing, guys, you will realize when to actually check for the out of range case. Okay, when you start actually solving the problems, you'll get to know. Okay, yeah. Now coming to the other instructions, let me move on. I'll not describe each instruction because you have seen all these instructions. Okay, now plus STA total here, same thing here. We have to set E to 1 because this is extended format, and NI and I are set to 1 because it is neither indirect nor immediate, and definitely B and P are always set to 0 when it is extended format. That is, displacement is directly the target address. That is, the target address of total is 0 to F00. So that itself is taken. Clear? RCEP. You know, as I've told you, you don't have to remember the object code for, you don't have to calculate the object code for RCEP all the time. It is always going to be 4F0000. Okay. So this is how you find out the object code. the final thing what you need to write is the object program, right? You know what is object program. Object program is a summary of whatever you have found so far. So header record consists of the name of the program followed by its initial or starting address followed by the length of the program. In the text record, you have to combine the object codes. That is, it starts with the starting address of the text record. Okay, text record you choose, and then the length. And here I have told you. So if you try adding all these, right, all these object codes, that is the length of their instructions, you get it as 29 in decimal, which when converted to hexadecimal you get as 1D. So that itself is written here. And then write all the object codes here. As I mentioned, 58 columns. Mentioning, I had told you a condition that in a text record you can have maximum of 60 columns in the object code. Okay, so that is why you tend to break your text records into one or more text records, because to keep up the condition of 60 columns in the object code. And then coming to E, which is end record, which is followed by the starting address of the program. So please guys, go through these videos of SIC XC. It is very important and it is very interesting, but usually students tend to find this topic difficult. I don't know why, but then if you remember the mnemonics for registers and some things related to the flags, that is why when is NIX BP set and what is program counter, what is base counter, things are going to get easier. It is a very easy topic and definitely you have minimum of 8 marks for this object code. So minimum of 8 to 10 marks. So it is very easy to score here. Okay, so go through all the videos that I'll be sharing for SIC XC. Thank you.